You're watching ABC7 News at 5.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
And I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks for being with us tonight. First this evening, it's a gray day after some much needed rainfall moved in over the weekend. We have a live look from our tower cam and the radar showing rain in the area.
Parts of Manatee County are under a flood advisory due to some showers. Now let's head over to Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at our first alert weather forecast. Bob.
Good afternoon, everyone. We are talking heavy rainfall for the next 5 days, maybe even 7 days. And then we have a tropical system behind this one that could pop up as well. So we'll get to all of that in just a moment. But first, more right at hand now. Some heavy rainfall continues to march northward. You can see that along I-75. Treacherous driving conditions all the way down into Manatee County. And notice this area is starting to pop up too. So although we haven't had a lot of heavy rainfall along the immediate coastline for a long duration, we are about to as this moves off to the north. That flood advisory in effect for just about 15 more minutes for Manatee County east of I-75. It includes Parrish and Waterleaf stretching down to Mayaca City, and that's a result of that repeated rainfall over the same location we call training. That continues to be a problem and will do so, I think, over the upcoming days as an area of low pressure in the Gulf of Mexico is going to inch very slowly off to the north, looks like right now. That heavy rainfall now in Longboat Key, also near Bayshore Gardens, stretching off to Onico right now, and just to the east, again, of 41 near downtown Bradenton. All this moving off basically to the north, and you can see that large area of heavy rainfall there. Not much for South Sarasota County at this time. You see not a lot of rain set up there at this point. So this is going to be kind of hit or miss shower and thunderstorm activity over the upcoming days. Some areas will get pounded while others may not get as much. You can see this spin right here, and just look at the extensive coverage of all that moisture covering the entire state for that matter, with the exception of the panhandle of Florida. Again, that rainfall was heavy just south of Parrish. That's the reason why they put in a flood advisory. Not as much along the immediate coastline, but boy, a lot offshore, and 3.6 just to the northwest of Arcadia. You can see that heavy rainfall up to 3.1 near Harrison Ranch Boulevard. Wanted to get to the satellite imagery and show you this low spinning right here. This is going to be the big story all week. It's going to just crawl to the north and then eventually get to the northern portion of the Gulf and then head back southward, it looks like, over Friday and Saturday. So although there'll be breaks in the clouds occasionally and we will see some rain kind of move out then move back in, we'll keep an eye on that for you. Flood advisory is more than likely issued, even a flood watch possibly on into Tuesday. We're also watching two models now. The European and the GFS suggests that there is an area of low pressure that could develop not this week but next week in the Western Caribbean. We'll have more on that coming up in a few minutes. Back to you.
All right, Bob, thank you. Now to breaking news we're following tonight involving the First Lady. The White House says Melania Trump is in the hospital after undergoing a procedure to treat a benign kidney condition. According to the White House, the procedure was successful. There were no complications, but she will likely remain at Walter Reed National Medical Center just outside of Washington for the rest of the week. President Trump stayed at the White House during her surgery, but is expected to visit the hospital shortly. Melania Trump turned 48 years old last month. She's the first U.S. First Lady to undergo such a serious medical procedure while in the White House since Nancy Reagan had a mastectomy back in 1987. Here at home, a new roundabout will open this week in downtown Sarasota, and there are several more in the works.
We asked city staff why they consider roundabouts a better alternative for traffic circulation, pedestrians, and even the environment. ABC7's Taylor Torregano is live at the roundabout on Main Street with more on what they had to say. Taylor?
Good evening, Jacqueline, Scott. You can see even when it's raining, roundabouts like this one that have just been complete, like here on Main and Orange, get quite a bit of use. But some who haven't quite got the idea of how they work are opposed to the idea of even more, saying they make driving even more dangerous. But today the city tells us this isn't true, and they have the studies to prove it.
Round and round and round they go.
This roundabout is particularly busy at any given time of the day. But does this expanding way of traffic control in Sarasota make your life easier?
So roundabouts are really amazing in that it helps with traffic circulation and it also is safer for both cars and pedestrians. And one of the critical things is that when a person or a car is entering an intersection, you only have to worry about traffic in one direction at a time.
Though some say that's exactly what confuses drivers in the first place.
Well, I actually saw a car going around the roundabout the wrong way the other day. That caused a little bit of panic.
One of the things that we are working on is before the multi-lane roundabouts open on 41, that we'll have additional education. There are some great videos online already.
This roundabout on Orange and Ringling finally set to open in the next few days, and the city says they're looking into another one downtown on Ringling and Pine Place.
And then on 41, we're looking at roundabouts at Ringling and 41, Main and 41, Gulfstream, Fruitville. Obviously, 10th and 14th are under construction now. Dr. Martin Luther King and Myrtle.
Bringing those roundabouts all the way up, with partial funding already secured from the Metropolitan Planning Organization. The city says the rest of the money will come from the state and feds in the future, and it's all part of an effort to make Sarasota more pedestrian friendly.
And so if we can get more people to walk, ride their bike, take transit, then it will allow the infrastructure we currently have to operate more long term.
Sustainability, but as the storm season approaches, will these roundabouts have the capacity to evacuate large numbers?
Actually, in looking at that, it's not more than a PM peak level, so the intersections should operate as good or better than they do presently with the traffic signals.
Now, the city says roundabouts are also better for the environment and travel time because drivers are only yielding instead of sitting at a traffic stop. I put more information to how to use them on our website. Just visit mysuncoast.com. I'm live in downtown. Taylor Torregano, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Taylor, thank you. Leaders from Sarasota County and the city of Northport getting an update today on a major Suncoast roadway, River Road, one of the main South County artery roads to I-75. The project focuses on a stretch from I-75 to West Villages Parkway, and it's been set for an expansion now for several years. ABC7's Christopher Bradley joins us with an update on this project tonight. Christopher?
Good evening, Scott. Today, the Sarasota County and City of Northport commissions got an update on where that project stands. River Road runs from I-75 into Inglewood, but it is the I-75 to US 41 section that has drawn the most attention, especially now that the Atlanta Braves are building their new spring training stadium nearby on 41. The challenge has been finding the money to change the 2-lane River Road into a 4- to 6-lane road. Some of that land will have to be acquired in the process. We're told there is money for that allocated, but the thing is that won't be available until the year 2024. Another part of all of this is who is to be responsible for River Road going forward. It appears Sarasota County is going to swap River Road with the Florida Department of Transportation. From then on, the state will be in charge.
That section from 41 up to I-75 will then be a state road, which is cool because from this point forward, it'll be their responsibility to kind of foot the bill on anything that needs to be done there.
Another project the two governments got an update on is a potential new interstate exchange for the city of Northport. Right now, Northport only has 2 exits off of I-75 into the city. They're hoping to add a third to eliminate some traffic issues into the city. Live in the South County Bureau, Christopher Brantley, ABC7, your Suncoast News.
All right, Christopher, thank you. Police are investigating the 4th shooting in Newtown this week, but still have not made any arrests. Investigators are trying to figure out if there is a link between these 4 shootings. They're gathering details about the victims, guns used, location, and time frame. Sarasota Police Chief Bernadette DePino does not believe these shootings were random.
It is concerning enough to us that we are jumping on it right away and taking it very seriously, and we want the community at large to feel safe and know that our officers are out there every day to keep them safe.
Coming up tonight at 6, we'll explain why detectives will have one less tool to help them with these ongoing investigations.
An update now on a man accused of killing his mother in her Lakewood Ranch home more than 6 years ago. Today, an Israeli court ruling 63-year-old Thomas Gross will be extradited back to Florida to face charges in Ina Gross's death. She was found stabbed to death in her garage in 2012. Thomas Gross had been visiting his mother at the time of her death. A warrant for his arrest was issued in 2014, and in December of last year, he was arrested in Israel. He now has 30 days to appeal the extradition.
Happening tonight, officials from the city of Sarasota and Sarasota County schools are hosting a public workshop to discuss a possible permanent closure of School Avenue through Sarasota High School's campus. The stretch of School Avenue in question runs between a main artery through the school. The meeting will start at 6 o'clock in the school auditorium and is open to the public.
ABC7 business commentator Richard Stern joined us now with a rally that keeps going on Wall Street.
8 in a row. How do you like that? Best winning streak we've had all year. We did better last year, but we'll take 8 in a row, believe me. Yes, we will. We didn't close anywhere near the high of the day. The Dow was up by 163 points at the high. I'm afraid we gave a good part of that back, but we did finish higher. The NASDAQ is up by more than 5% just this month. And guess what? Things seem to have calmed down a little bit. Some of the wild intraday trading we've seen, we're not looking at. So poor English, but you got the message. Let's take a look and we'll see how we're doing right now. There you see the Dow is up 68 points, more than 1/4%. That is 8 in a row, 24,899.41. That on volume of 843 million shares. The NASDAQ, as I say, very strong this month, up 8 points today, 0.1% at 7,401.31. That on volume of 1,806 million shares. And the S&P makes it a clean sweep, up 2.5 points, 0.1% at 2,730.13. Well, you may recall it's just last year when Sears decided they had to sell their iconic Craftsman division because guess what? They needed the money. Well, guess what? They need it again. Now they're talking about selling their Kenmore division, and certainly those of us who know the old Sears Roebuck, Kenmore is certainly a key part of their business. They're also looking at selling what's called Parts Direct. They're looking at selling their home improvement division, some of their real estate, and the reason for it, they've had double-digit sales declines going back almost as far as anybody can remember. And as far as their stock is concerned, even though it was up by 7% on today's news, I'm sorry to say the stock has been down 65% in the last 52 weeks.
They are just not doing too well.
Sears is not the company we used to know, I'm afraid.
Well, what about for tomorrow? What can we expect?
You know that guy to your left? He goes to Home Depot once in a while. Home Depot is going to announce their earnings before the market opens. So, Scott, you're responsible for tomorrow. I just want you to know.
Don't blame me if it's down.
All right. You got it.
Thanks, Richard.
You're welcome.
Still to come in your Suncoast News, opening day at the U.S. Embassy in Jerusalem, why it sparked deadly protests along the Gaza border.
And low pressure promises to bring heavy rainfall this week. Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will tell us when we can expect it. Plus, why the calorie information on menus is not influencing people to eat healthy.
The ABC7 Stock Report is sponsored by Sunset Cadillac.
We've all heard how military veterans adjusting to the civilian world may have certain issues.
30. 70.
If only everyone had this issue. No matter what challenge they face, Easter Seals is here for America's veterans.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Accolades are great. Just wait until you see our prices. Rugs as Art, Sarasota's only area rug superstore.
You want a Maserati, but you need an SUV. Why not have both? Levante, the Maserati of SUVs.
Experience it at Sunset Maserati Alfa Romeo of Sarasota.
Since 1972, Sleep King has provided quality mattresses and accessories at the best discounted prices available. Top brands like Simmons, Sealy, Serta, Beautyrest, iComfort, and more. With available free delivery, free financing, and free setup and removal. For a comfortable night's sleep with same-day delivery, even if we have to carry it on our backs. Trust Sleep King of Sarasota. Buy it today, sleep on it tonight.
Since 2004, Embracing Our Differences has used the power of art and education to promote diversity.
One way it accomplishes this is through its annual outdoor exhibition of 45 billboard-sized works of art, each accompanied by an inspirational quote. Join us in creating a community that is inclusive for all, where differences are embraced and individuality is celebrated. We invite you to celebrate the voices and visions of diversity and inclusion at this year's exhibit at Sarasota's Island Park.
Outdoor living is one of the greatest perks about living in Florida. So whether this is your style, or this, or maybe this, contact Superior Pools. They've been building pools from Sarasota to Naples since 2001, and they would love to build yours.
Today, the U.S. following up on its promise to move the U.S. Embassy in Israel from Tel Aviv to Jerusalem, but not without a violent backlash. ABC's Tara Palmieri shows us how protests are causing the death count to rise.
The U.S. Embassy opening its doors at the new location in Jerusalem.
We welcome you officially and for the first time to the Embassy of the United States here in Jerusalem, the capital of Israel.
A joyous day for Israelis who celebrated with the U.S. delegation, including Ivanka Trump, Jared Kushner, Treasury Secretary Steve Mnuchin, and others.
When President Trump makes a promise, he keeps it.
The president basking in the moment, too, by video.
For many years, we failed to acknowledge the obvious, the plain reality that Israel's capital is Jerusalem.
Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu billing this a Trump administration victory.
President Trump, by recognizing history, you have made history.
But for the Palestinians, a day rife with death and bloodshed, while 70,000 to 80,000 were protesting along a fence in Gaza. According to Gaza health officials, dozens of Palestinians killed and more than 1,200 wounded by Israeli forces, making it the deadliest day in Gaza since the end of the war in 2014.
We condemn in the strongest term this atrocity by the Israeli occupying forces.
Still, all smiles at the embassy where the prospect of a two-state solution was never mentioned. Instead,
those provoking violence are part of the problem and not part of the solution.
While the French are urging the Israelis to show restraint along the border, the White House is referring to the protesters as members of the Hamas terror group and says Israel has a right to defend itself. Tara Palmieri, ABC News, Washington.
Tonight, investigators are trying to find the person who mutilated 2 alligators in Mayaca City. Now, we do want to warn you, you may find these pictures disturbing. An ABC7 viewer sent us these photos of the gator remains. If you look closely, the tails of both gators have been cut off. A spokesperson for the Florida Fish and Wildlife Conservation Commission says the agency was contacted yesterday about those deaths. They're asking anyone with information to contact the FWC.
All right, Bob is back. We've talked about a lot of rain in the area. We needed it, but I don't know if we needed, all at once.
All at one time, all 1 week, and then a system behind it too, as I alluded to earlier. That could be also heading toward Florida, not this week, but next week. So the rain is here, and it's going to stick around for a while. It'll be on again and off again, like you saw today. Some areas didn't get much rain at all, while others inundated with over 3 inches in just a short period of time. You can see from the Lakewood Ranch webcam showing those low ceilings and some heavy rainfall moving in from the south, basically, as the tropical moisture continues to stream on in, associated with an upper level low, but it's trying to work down to the surface. And you can see it. This is the future cast right there in the Gulf of Mexico. And you'll notice as I put the map into motion, it just kind of spins here, it drifts off to the west a little bit. But notice we're on the right side, and all this moisture continues to stream right into west central Florida. And we are going to see periods of moderate to heavy rainfall at times. It doesn't appear anything too severe, but as far as the concerns go, it will be the localized flooding problems we may be seeing. We already had a flood advisory. That's just the first one. This is now Tuesday, and you can see that area of low pressure becoming elongated here. Indications are from the National Hurricane Center, they're giving it a 40% chance that we may see a tropical depression or a tropical storm form in the Gulf of Mexico over the next 48 hours. It's really unlikely it's going to be a significant wind maker. That's simply due to the fact that the water temperatures are marginal at best. They have to be at least 80 degrees or above for a tropical system to really develop and get going, and they're just holding into the upper 70s. On top of that, there's a lot of shear in the upper levels of the atmosphere, some strong winds, which will not allow this system to stack up. But again, taking you through Tuesday afternoon, you can see periods of no rain, some clouds occasionally. There may be some breaks now and again, but we're in for quite a bit of clouds. I think not the best beach week with showers and storms continuing to develop each and every afternoon, especially. You can see see the low pressure then starts to move back toward the east in time. So a stormy week, and that takes us right through the weekend too. Heavy rain at times causing some localized flooding problems, ponding of water on the roadways, and then a 40% chance of a tropical low developing in the Gulf of Mexico. Now, the system will eventually move off to the north and move toward the panhandle of Florida, but even the long-range models suggest it gets close to the panhandle over the weekend and then backs back down into the Gulf of Mexico. You can see that trail of moisture extending all the way down into the Florida Straits and the western tip of Cuba. All that is working around this area of low pressure, so that's what we're going to be dealing with over the course of the next several days at least. That heavy rain band that continues to move through Hillsborough County is starting to weaken somewhat, but still pretty heavy rain now into Manatee County along I-275 near State Road 70 and 64. You can see Bradenton getting some moderate to heavy rainfall all the way along up to 5th Avenue East. There's the live sweep showing that rain now moving northward. Rainfall rates have been up to 1.5 inches to 1 3/4 inches an hour. All this moving off to the northwest at around 20 to 25 miles an hour. There's a lot of dry air to the west of us. Some of it's starting to entrain in there, and that's the reason why we're going to get a little break tonight, I think. We'll get a little break because some of this dry air kind of slipping in the backside of that area of low pressure. As far as the futurecast goes, you can see this is taking you through time, Wednesday and even into Thursday. Showers gathering, especially in the afternoon and evening over the upcoming days. Now, as far as the rainfall totals, I think most everyone will see at least a couple of inches to possibly as much as 4 inches of rainfall just over the next several days. And you can see even into Saturday, the models are still indicating some pretty heavy rainfall around. So we'll get to the boating forecast. Scattered storms, south winds at 15 knots, a moderate chop on the bays and inland waters. The extended forecast, well, there it is. Looks like summer to me, but it's not the summer pattern. It's this low pressure system in the Gulf of Mexico. Temperatures will be kept a little bit cooler in the low 80s due to the increased rain chances. Back to you.
Thank you, Bob. In first alert traffic right now, we're seeing I-75 backed up as you head north in Manatee County this evening. This all starts right around State Road 70 exit and goes all the way north to the Ellenton exit. So slow going as you head north, but southbound is looking good at this hour. Jacqueline.
Thanks, Scott. In health news tonight, the World Health Organization wants to eliminate artificial trans fats by the year 2023. Artificial trans fats are made when vegetable oil hardens in a process called hydrogenation. Those hydrogenated fats are often used in processed foods or baked goods because they don't spoil as quickly as other fats, but they can have harmful health effects, including raising levels of LDL cholesterol and increasing risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes. And if you feel like you're seeing more calorie information posted in your favorite restaurant menus, it could be because, well, you are. The FDA recently began requiring restaurant chains to list calorie and other nutrition labeling on menu items. The rule is aimed at getting Americans to make healthier choices when they're eating out. However, a recent study showed that only about half of people in restaurants even notice calorie information on the menus, and when they do, it does not always influence their decision making. Coming up, new threats to people in Hawaii as those destructive volcanic eruptions continue. Plus, a pair of cops get wet and wild commandeering a jet ski to make a water rescue. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Peterson Toyota of Sarasota offers hundreds of models to choose from. And now you can take your shopping experience to the next level with SRQ Plus. You'll love its added benefits exclusively at Peterson Toyota of Sarasota or toyotaofsarasota.com.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Did you know you could get life insurance for less than 32 cents a day? With guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage, you can get up to $25,000 in protection with a single phone call. TrueStage can help free your family from immediate financial stress when you're gone.
Utility bills, mortgages, car payments, those are a lot of things that can add up pretty fast.
And even if you're on a fixed income, prices fit your budget, starting at less than 32 cents a day. Plus, your price will never increase and your benefit will never decrease. And with no medical tests or health questions, you cannot be turned down for any reason. Call 1-800-842-7189 now for a free, no-obligation quote. TrueStage offers plans to fit your budget. Help protect your family from immediate financial burdens after you're gone with guaranteed acceptance whole life insurance through TrueStage. Call 1-800-842-7189 now.
There's nothing like this trail in Alabama. It just goes from the northern part of the state to the southern part of the state. We see all kind of different terrains, great value, great fun. We've been coming for 18 years. We started off with a group of 8, grew to 12, and grew to 16. And we love it because where else can you get world-class golf courses with world-class accommodations? To be able to play these type of courses in this environment, and the difficulty keeps us coming back over and over and over again.
ABC7, the Suncoast's official Florida lottery station.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Another crack opening in the ground in Hawaii, making it the 18th fissure in more than a week, erupting on Hawaii's Big Island. The sound roaring as lava sizzles, bubbling upwards of 800 feet in the air in some areas. More than 36 buildings have been destroyed. One of the biggest concerns now, a major roadway could be cut off, potentially leaving residents stranded. Meanwhile, the threat of another kind of eruption looms. Geologists say a massive steam explosion could happen any day, with the potential to catapult enormous boulders. Seattle police went full Baywatch, grabbing a jet ski to rescue some kayakers. The quick-thinking cops flagged down a woman on a jet ski, hopped on, and then zoomed out to the struggling pair. One of the kayakers' boats had taken on water, and he didn't have a life vest on. The officers were able to help the kayakers until a harbor unit boat brought them in.
Coming up at 5:30, a look at the rainfall that we can expect for the rest of the week. And at 5:32, why Booker High's graduation tickets are a hot commodity right now. Plus, at 5:34, an update on the Atlanta Braves spring training stadium in Northport. Stay with us. Those stories straight ahead.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.
Get to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota for big savings during the Jeep Celebration event. Shop the area's largest selection of new 2018 Jeep Wranglers, or get the most awarded SUV of all time, a new Jeep Cherokee, for as little as $19,999. Find the path to your next great adventure in the all-new Jeep Compass for just $17,999. Better prices, bigger selection. Go to Sunset Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram Fiat in Sarasota.
I heard about the Dotoli Cancer Center through friends of mine who had been treated here and were very pleased with the treatment.
If there is prostate cancer, we at the Dotoli Cancer Center will find it using 3D color flow Doppler ultrasound.
And that helped precisely identify where my cancer was and some additional cancers that were not found during the biopsy. I would recommend the Dotoli Cancer Center. As a group of human beings, they are unbelievably great.
We're losing exotic animals on a daily basis, and the ones that we have in captivity are really the ambassadors for their wild counterparts. I'm Clayton Rozier from the Big Cat Habitat and Gulf Coast Sanctuary, housing over 150 exotic animals that needed a great home. And if you love animals, please help them. Do it locally. Support your local no-kill shelters, your local wild animal sanctuaries. Make a difference where you can.
You now have the power to prioritize your Facebook feed and get local news and information from the team you trust. Go to the ABC7 Sarasota page on Facebook. Give us a like, then click following and choose See First. That's it. Customize even more by choosing notifications. Choose breaking news, posts, live videos, anything you want to see in real time. Take control of your newsfeed and stay connected to what's happening in your community with ABC7 on Facebook.
I am the resident district manager on the FAU campus for Chartwell. Whenever I see Haley, I do not see a person with a disability. I see a person with extraordinary abilities. Haley is always smiling. She's always on time. She gives fantastic customer service and is always focused on any job that she's given.
Hi, this is Dan Marino. When your business recruits people with disabilities, everybody wins. To find out how, go to disabilitieswork.employflorida.com.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now, during our Finish Upgrade event, save up to 15% when you upgrade to a premium finish. Schedule your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or go to californiaclosets.com.